Hi, welcome to Life Change Community. We're a couple of days into the new year. Have you kept all your resolutions? Someone told me the average New Year's resolution lasts about 17 days. It takes more than willpower or writing something on a piece of paper to make real change in our life. Jesus is the change maker. He gives us the power, the impetus, the motivation, the determination, and the strength to pull it off. And here's what Jesus says, that it begins in our mind. The Bible tells us in the Old Testament that what we think is what we are. It's what we become. Jesus talks about attitudes in his very first sermon, the way we think about life and about ourselves. So it's what you believe, what you really hold on to in your mind and in your heart. It is those deeply held godly convictions that will change your life. And we've talked about several of them over the last few days. Here's another. You are lovely and unlovely. And that's the truth. Now hang on for just a minute. We are living in a culture where those two ideas are taken to damaging and harmful extremes. Christianity and other religions of the world have really propagated the idea that we're all unlovely. Songs like "We're poor, wretched, miserable sinners, blind in our sin, lost and wayward," though those are all true about us apart from God, we are unlovely. It is not the essence of what God made us to be. It forgets the fact that the Bible says we have been made in the image of God, and you and I are carriers of God's own image. To say we're just wretched and miserable and to be railed against from the pulpits and the platforms and the prejudiced people of the world is to forget that God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that the value you and I hold in the eyes of God is worth the life of his only Son. Does that sound like only unlovely to you? No. So it's an extreme position just to say we are just miserable and wretched and unlovely. Though it's true, we have unloveliness about us and in us because of sin. And Christ came to remedy that. Here's the other error in our thinking. We're lovely. We're all good and we're wonderful and we're beautiful and humans are the highest of the created order and we should only feel good about ourselves and self-esteem and all of that. You're so pretty, you're so good. It's the idea behind giving everybody a ribbon who just tries. It's the idea of giving a trophy out to every team that participates. Because we don't want anybody to feel bad. We don't want anybody to feel less than. We want everybody to feel the same, and we want everybody to feel just wonderful. Johnny, you're so good. Susie, you're so good. And we're fearful of ever telling someone they fell short, or they failed in an attempt, or they need to improve, or their behavior's unacceptable. Because everything and everyone is lovely. And that's also an error. Though it is true, there is loveliness in you because you possess the very fingerprints of God upon your soul. God made you, and he made you to have a relationship with him, and he made you to love you. You see, there's a dichotomy in us. We are unlovely because of sin. We are lovely because we've been made by God and for God. And both of those truths battle within us, and God helps us when we give our life to him to become lovelier and lovelier and lovelier. And acknowledging both parts of who you are is not only balanced and healthy and true, but it will also change your life.